This is Shelly. This is my breast cancer story, and this is chapter 2. The girl with cancer. If I could give any breast cancer patient any advice before treatments, I would tell that person to pamper themselves. Go get a full body massage or a pedicure or the haircut you've always wanted. Better yet, get yourself the gift of some glam shots. Get some recommendations, call a local photographer, and take some fun photos before any treatments begin. I was apprehensive about getting photos taken before surgery. But since they were meant as a gift, I sucked it up and sucked it in for a 2-hour photo shoot. My photographer, Jean, was so caring and understanding about my situation, which totally eased my nerves. She assured me that I would cherish these photos for years to come. She was right. The pictures are meant to depict the me before surgery, when I was still me, and still felt like me, and still had all me parts attached to me body. The me that my better half fell in love with. Jean captured my soul beautifully. Little did I know that these photos would end up being a great source of healing. Cancer does a number on your self-esteem. I remember when I was first diagnosed, like it was so long ago, everyone was so concerned with my hair. The big question was whether or not I would be bald. I would shake my head and think to myself, who cares about my hair? I'm trying to stay alive here. It angered me. Years later, as I revisit these photos, I find myself reflecting and mourning for the person I used to be. Cancer undoubtedly alters more than just one's physical appearance. When I gaze upon these images, I'm peering into my own eyes, reminiscing about the emotions I experienced that day as a human being. I recall the sensation of having all my body parts intact, the way I felt prior to the PTSD I now grapple with, and the liberating feeling of being unburdened by a lifelong illness. I lost more than just body parts, and although I was weak and scared on the day these photographs were taken, they remind me of not only what I lost, but also how far I've come and how much stronger I am today. The word is out. In late November, a month after finding my lump, a friend of mine posted a caring message of support on one of my social pages. In the moments that followed, breast cancer became really real. My phone began ringing off the hook. My social notifications grew by the dozens, and my inbox was bombarded. Everyone now knew that I had cancer. Even friends that I hadn't spoken to since high school were sending messages and prayers. In the days that followed, my house began looking like a funeral home as every few hours the doorbell would ring and another florist would show up with a beautiful blush-colored bouquet. I was certainly humbled by my celebrity by breast cancer status, but being overwhelmed doesn't even touch the surface of how difficult it was to keep up with each person who was kind enough to show their support. I wanted to send a thank you card to everyone, but it was impossible. Every year, I look forward to seeing all the happy birthday messages that come through social media, but after that one day, things go back to normal. In this situation, that wasn't the case. I wasn't able to keep up with the ringing phone, the knocking of the doorbell, the dinging of the notifications and emails, so I shut down. I left my family to manage the outpour of care and concern that flooded into our lives. From the moment I heard the words, "You have breast cancer," a fight or flight mode toggle switch turned on in my brain. While some people enter fight mode and others enter flight mode, my internal struggle was to bounce back and forth for years after diagnosis. This certainly wasn't the first time my chemical makeup endured being in survival mode, but I prefer to suffer in silence. This eases the burden on others. Everyone has challenges, and no one's world should be consumed with my problems. But this fight would be different. Suffering in silence wasn't an option, and for that, I am forever grateful. Not everyone has a village of support like I did. November 29th, 2013. Journal dump number 5. I am 10 days away from having a double mastectomy, followed by immediate reconstruction with expanders put in place. A later surgery will exchange the expanders for implants. When the brain is in fight mode, the body is on high speed. It's been 18 years since my last childbirth, but here I am nesting all over again. Every drawer in the house has been organized, and I have gone as far as cleaning the tile floors with a toothbrush. 1, I know I won't be capable of doing much after surgery, so I'm trying to get as much done as possible. And 2, if I sit down and let the body and brain relax, thoughts might creep in, and with this comes fear. I hosted my family's Thanksgiving dinner. Lucia and I completed the Christmas shopping in a record-breaking 3 days. All the gifts have been wrapped, and the tree is up. Now what? During those few minutes of downtime, the thoughts enter the brain, and as my heart begins to pound, I look down and wonder, will I be able to see my heartbeat after they remove my breasts and replace it with some kind of silicone-filled plastic bag? My mastectomy was scheduled for a Monday morning, so the weekend prior, my house opened its revolving doors while family and friends kept me very occupied, making sure I had no time for thoughts full of fear. We baked cookies, and one of my most creative friends, Debbie, brought white chocolate candies in the shape of pink ribbons. Many friends asked if they could come to the hospital on the day of my surgery, so I wanted to make sure that while I was sleeping, there would be something for them to snack on. Even during cancer, I remained a diligent party planner. With every visitor on the weekend before surgery also came a ready-made meal for the freezer, which ended up being the best breast cancer support gifts a girl could receive.